I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC.
All right, guys, here we are with the JJPRO Hax. This is a little tiny GPS drone that is definitely an entry-level drone. We're going to do a review on this one, and I'm going to fly it in real time for you. I'm going to show you what the camera footage looks like. I'm going to show you how to calibrate the compass on it real quick. And it's also running 5.8 gigahertz on Wi-Fi, so you will need a newer type of iPhone or Android device for this to work flawless and have a nice frame rate back to your phone. Now, I do have an iPhone 7, so we'll see how that works on the iPhone 7. Also, just a quick note to you guys, for the app, I'm gonna go back out into the main screen. I'm gonna show you the app that it uses. It uses the JJRC app. If you're looking for this app in the App Store, there is another one called JJPRO, but it doesn't work on this quad yet. It has a picture of this quad on the app. I was really excited about that because it looks like they're working on a new version of this. But for now, we're just gonna use this JJRC app and go ahead and connect to your Wi-Fi where it says UAV in your Wi-Fi settings, then press connect there. You'll see that snow screen, and then you should see your live view load up just like that. And there's a little bit of lag in this quadcopter, but then again, it is an entry level. Also, when you're turning this quadcopter on, press one button to power it up there. And also make sure that this switch right here is in the middle. That is your GPS mode. Up top is gonna be your altitude mode for taking off indoors. And then all the way at the bottom there is gonna be your return to home switch. Over here we have everything labeled for you is photo, video, high load mode. This is the E-fence. You can push this over a bunch of times and it should beep. And once it's beeped, it's not activated anymore, so you can fly as far as you want. Over here is S mode. This would be land mode. This S mode would be takeoff. And this is also headless mode on here. And the screen has tons of information on here. It's kind of crazy. It shows you what mode you're flying in. Right now I'm in positioning, GPS. It shows me my stick mode, my high-low speed rate. I'm in high right now. It shows me my altitude. It shows me my distance from home, all kinds of stuff. And it shows your satellite count. Right now it says I have 4, so you're gonna have to wait for all of your satellites to load up to about 16 to 17 satellites, and then you should be ready for takeoff. Now, before you do that, let's go ahead and calibrate the compass, and we'll get started with the rest of the review. We'll try to get this compass calibrated, and the way you do that is you take both sticks and you go out and to the side like this. And once you do that, you can pick up the drone. You're gonna look for blue lights in the front. When it has blue lights in the front, you can begin the first rotation on the horizontal axis, and we're gonna go around clockwise fashion. Okay, so we're gonna give it a rotation here on the clockwise horizontal axis, and we should see a green light come up when you're done with all those rotations. Just keep going. Try not to cover up the GPS on the top. I usually like to hold them from the bottom. And now they're green in the back, so I can go face up and I can do this next rotation. And I'm just gonna keep going until I get a light change here. Okay, now I have blue in the front here, and it is blinking green in the back. So our compass calibration is now correct. Okay guys, go ahead and take a step back, and you're going to arm your quad by going down into the center, just like that. And now you can do that auto takeoff. This is my S button I have labeled right here. You can press that and it'll do an auto takeoff. And it's gonna go up a couple meters, but I'm gonna bring it down in front of me, and I'm gonna check out this GPS lock and hover. Just gonna come in close to it, walk around it. It might take a minute for it to get locked into place. It seems to be wandering just a little bit. It doesn't have GLONASS, so keep that in mind. You can see how much that's wandering there. It's gonna bring it back out into the field. And if it starts to toilet bowl around, guys, sit it back down and calibrate the compass one more time. Let's calibrate the GPS, and hopefully you can get a nice solid lock. Just gonna bring it forward a little bit. Now, if you're having problems with it wandering around too much and you wanna just get some quick aerial shots, what you can do is actually put it into that indoor mode with the stick position all the way up, and that's going to give you a nice smooth flying characteristic. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it in GPS for now. I'm going to start the video for us. Now the video is recording. I'm just going to do some forward flight in GPS mode. Just fly across the field a little bit. Just going to fly out there a little ways and turn around. And it looks like my real-time view is actually doing pretty good. Now, if you fly further out there and you start to lose GPS mode, you're gonna have to come back closer to yourself. Blue lights in the front, green lights in the back. Let's bring it down close. Now, what I like about this quad a lot is the fact that it does have brushless motors, so very comparable to something but smaller than the Hubsan 501S series. Seems to be kind of a competitor to that series by Hubsan. So we're going to come down a little bit lower. Let's test out those brushless motors. We'll get right in front of myself over here. Just come down a little bit. We'll do a punch out with this. You ready? 1, 2, 3. It's about all the punch out you're going to get right there. Not bad. What I do like about this quad is that it is really stable and quiet. It's really quiet flying quad. You're not going to bother anybody in the park with this one, you know. It's just not like a 5-inch FPV racer screaming around in the park and freaking everybody out. So this is definitely a nice entry-level GPS quadcopter. And I've flown a lot of them, you guys. I've been flying GPS type quads for 5 years or more, since the original KK2 boards. And watch when I let go of the stick, watch what it does. It brings itself to a stop. Just gonna bring it back over here and show you that again. If I let go of the sticks, if you let go of the sticks as a new guy, you should expect the GPS to take over. And eventually it'll come to a nice hover and hold its position. Now there is a little bit of crazy clouds going on above me. If you have any crazy clouds like what you see out in front of me now, that's gonna limit your GPS to your quad. So normally when I'm getting 17 satellites, today I'm only getting 10. So keep that in mind. Your weather conditions are really gonna affect your satellite lock to your quad. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video now. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a range test with the quad right here in this little field. This is just a little tiny soccer field. So I'll start the video and I will fly out there. Like I said, this is not like the greatest video in the world on this quad because it's essentially a toy drone, guys, with a nice little GPS unit on there. I still see my real-time view here. I can see the school there. I can see the playground. I'm headed back this direction. I don't have any break up there. There is a little bit of lag, but it's doing really well. Really nice. I feel like I want to FPV race this one just for the fun of it. It does come with some extra props in the box, by the way, and a prop wrench that you're going to have to use to hold the motor still while you're putting these props on. It was fairly easy to put them on. You're going to kind of have to bend the angle of the wrench down a little bit, like on an angle when you're putting the props on. Just make sure they're nice and firm. Don't over tighten them. They are spin-on props. Very similar to the Hubsan props. I don't know if you can actually use the Hubsan props on this one, but I flew this one the other day at one of the multi-GP races here in town, and it was a lot of fun because everyone had been ripping around with FPV quads, but I started flying this little toy quad and everyone kind of gathered around and started watching me fly it. It was a nice relaxing thing to do, flying these. And I have some tutorials on my channel if you guys want to check out how to fly a quadcopter for the first time. Let's look at that yaw spin. Pretty nice yaw spin. And it doesn't have prop guards, so don't hit yourself. It wouldn't feel good to get hit by this. It's not going to kill you or anything, but it wouldn't feel good. And it is a pretty lightweight quad. I'm just going to do some cruising here. Maybe I will go up a little further and record some video up a little higher. Just go up so we can see the scenery there. You can see the school. We can see the clouds and everything. And this one doesn't have any kind of a tilt on the camera. I go up a little higher. And of course, you guys know that the altitude limit is 400 feet by the FAA. And you don't have any type of way to know what your altitude is unless you look at the transmitter itself. So my distance is 26 meters, and my flight height is 47 meters. Just gonna come down a little bit, and I'm not sure how accurate that is, guys, honestly. That could be wrong as far as being exactly right on the height and the distance. Sometimes the GPS specs on the feedback can be wrong what you see on the controller. And sometimes if you just restart your quad, if you notice that it's really, really off, just restart the quad, and sometimes you get a better connection. And let's check out my satellite count. I'm at 11 satellites now. So let's go ahead out here in the field and let's do a return to home situation. I'm just gonna go out here. If you lose signal to the transmitter, a lot of people wanna know this. If you lose signal to the transmitter, it will automatically start to come home. Also in a low battery situation. So now we're coming home. I'm still recording video. We're gonna check out how close we land to the home point. So let's see this live return to home situation with the JJPRO Hax. And I'm pretty excited because they're actually, two companies sent me this quad. Gearbest sent me one and Geek Buying. So I have two of these now. And if it looks like it's going to land on an object or land somewhat close to your car or something like that, you can switch out of return to home mode. So it looks like it's about to land on the slide, but normally these should land. See if I can come down a little. I can actually still change the trajectory. So if you come down, you can push the stick over, but this was going to land, if it lands anywhere within 15 feet of where the landing point is, it's usually a pretty good quad. I tested this the other day and it actually landed only like a foot or two from the home point. So it did really, really well. Today, not so great because we only have 10 satellites, but that's to be expected. So we're gonna take back off. I'm gonna put it back into GPS mode, and it still says I have 10 satellites. Just gonna go ahead and start my motors and press the S button. And it also has auto land, by the way, guys. So if you wanna do an auto landing, you can press that L button that I have labeled here and hold it. You'll hear it beep and it's going to automatically start to descend and land for you. See if I can make it right on that landing point. Almost on my pad there. So guys, thanks a lot for watching the JJPRO Hax. I'm going to leave you with some flight footage. I'm going to fly the rest of this battery. You guys can enjoy the flight footage and I'll see you on the next one. This one was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend this for new guys. I'm Justin Davis. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.